I've also had a personal love of transportation ever since childhood.
Pete Buttigieg failed his way into Joe Biden's cabinet, and the speech he gave, just incredible. I'm going to play a clip from this speech. Now, with a lot of the Biden appointments so far, while I haven't been happy with them, as they are largely terrible choices, ultra-conservative, they're qualified people in their fields. Now, they're the wrong qualifications, but you can say that they have experience in whatever they've been appointed to. When it comes to Pete Buttigieg getting transportation secretary, come on now. He's not qualified. And I'm going to get to a few people that he beat out for the job. You will be shocked at the people that were pushed aside for Pete Buttigieg. But before I get to anything else, I'm going to play a clip from this speech. It is just beautiful.
I've also had a personal love of transportation ever since childhood. More than once as a college student, I would convince a friend to travel nearly 1,000 miles back to Indiana with me on Amtrak. Though I know that in this administration, I will at best aspire to be the second biggest train enthusiast around. I spent a spring break in graduate school aboard a cargo ship studying there. Travel in my mind is synonymous with growth, with adventure, even love, so much so that I proposed to my husband, Chasten, in an airport terminal. So don't let anybody tell you that O'Hare isn't romantic.
All right. Before I get to anything else, Pete Buttigieg's qualifications for the job. He went home on a train once during college, more than once. He took a train home. Okay. And he proposed to his husband in an airport terminal. Yeah, top qualifications for transportation secretary for the entire goddamn country. Watching this speech, it brings back reminders of bullshitting your way through an essay question or like through a book report, where he's clearly not qualified. He has no idea why he's there. I mean, he knows why he's there. He backed Biden in the primary, but he knows he doesn't deserve to be there. He knows he doesn't know anything. But I love this book. I read it. I proposed to my husband with the book on the side table. Like, it's just there's nothing here. It is comical that he has been put into this position. Now, let me show you this, because I'm always objective. I try to be fair. There is one upside to him being here, and it's who is not in this spot. So, as Chicago Sun-Times writes here, President-elect Joe Biden is not picking Rahm Emanuel to be transportation secretary, who wanted it. Instead, announcing Tuesday he is selecting Pete Buttigieg, who was lobbying for other posts. You don't say. Pete Buttigieg was lobbying for something else, because clearly he has no idea why he's in this position. Yeah, so the fact that Rahm Emanuel is not transportation secretary is the only upside here. But of course, because of the endorsement during the primary, during a key time in that primary, that is why Pete Buttigieg had to be fit in somewhere and put him as transportation secretary. Now, a few more things here. I also have another clip, not of Buttigieg, but you'll see. I love this article, CBS News. The former mayor of Indiana's fourth largest city with about 100,000 residents, so talking about Pete Buttigieg. And then you scroll down to the next paragraph. If the Senate approves his nomination to lead the transportation department, Buttigieg will oversee an agency with nearly 55,000 employees nationwide and an annual budget of more than $85 billion. He's going to be overseeing employees that amount to more than half of the amount of residents he had when he was mayor. This man only fails upward. It is incredible. And to buttress that point, I have Jason Johnson here, who I am not a fan of. He spent the entire Democratic primary attacking Bernie Sanders to the point that MSNBC actually had to kick him off the air. Look that up. But look at his comments here. This is a guy who, again, he's for the most part very conservative Democrat in terms of his commentary, but listen to his comments on Pete Buttigieg.
I tend to think as much as it's an accomplishment for diversity, look, I've always thought that Mayor Pete sort of failed up, to be perfectly honest. I think there are transportation secretaries that you could have gotten out of Michigan, Jeanette Sadiq-Khan, Fonte Carver out of Cleveland. I think there's a lot more people that you could get at a local level that know a lot more about transportation than Mayor Pete. But I also think quite basically that some of these selections are not just about Biden filling his cabinet, not just about giving favors to people who may have endorsed him during the primary, but also perhaps kneecapping potential rivals for Senator Harris in 2024 or 2028.
Now, on his last point, I'm not sure if that was the thought process in terms of putting Pete Buttigieg into a position. It was clear once Buttigieg backed Biden that there was some kind of deal going on there, that he was going to be part of the administration. So I don't think Buttigieg would have been able to mount any serious challenge to Kamala Harris in 2024. I'm looking more at people like Nina Turner to challenge Kamala Harris. Again, assuming Biden does not last 8 years, I think Biden's going to bow out after 4 years. But anyway, that's a whole different discussion. Jason Johnson here, obviously, recognizing that, Buttigieg has failed upward into this position. He is not qualified. Here are some other names of people that Biden could have picked that on paper, a lot more qualified than Pete Buttigieg. David Kim, 8 years at Department of Transportation, LA Transit, head of California's State Transportation Agency. Sarah Feinberg, 4 years at Department of Transportation, led the Federal Railroad Administration, head of New York City Transit. John Porcari led Maryland Department of Transportation, U.S. Department of Transportation Deputy Secretary. So clearly, everybody here a lot more qualified than Pete Buttigieg. But we don't know if they took a train home from college once. And we don't know if they proposed to their spouse in an airport terminal. So, I don't know. Pete Buttigieg may, in fact, be more qualified. Unbelievable how some people just fail upwards, and the world appears to accept it. And by the way, Trump, the media was very clear about his appointments not being qualified. They were correct. And in most cases, not even unqualified, but also there to actually destroy whatever agency they were there to lead. But I'm hearing a lot of silence. Apart from Jason Johnson, one commentator on MSNBC, I'm hearing a lot of silence around Pete Buttigieg not being qualified here. So there clearly is a double standard here when it comes to the Biden appointments. I think a lot of people are just happy Trump's going to be gone, and that's good. Yes, I'm glad Trump's going, but you need people in these positions of power that are actually going to benefit the vast majority of Americans. And Pete Buttigieg getting this spot clearly is just a favor after he backed Biden in the primary.